Hey guys, I wanted to give you some tips on Thanksgiving Day and the Friday after. So I posted a similar video earlier today on the free tips group so that you can share it with your friends and family, but I wanted to make sure that all you guys see it as well, because Thanksgiving can be one of those holidays that we like love and enjoy and all of that, but it can also be one, stressful, and two, sometimes derail us. So a couple of things to think of, and I sent out the email too, but I just want to make sure you guys see it. And anything, if you have any questions or need help navigating, like just post below, reach out. I'm absolutely here for you. But I want to give you some insights, and sorry, I'm at home with dogs. One of the common mistakes is people think like, oh, I'll just wait until dinner and like save all my calories, which if you're normally intermittent fasting, if you normally don't eat a meal until 12 or 3, whatever time dinner is, that's totally fine, obviously. But if you normally eat a couple of meals throughout the day, like you start at 8 a.m., whatever the case may be, if you try to delay that, your body's not used to it. And so by the time you get to dinner, you're starving. You're probably you will eat more than you normally would have because it takes 20 minutes for your body to catch up and realize that you just ate something, right? So you'll eat more and you'll be in a what is that word? Not kind of like a compromised mental state to where you probably won't make the same decision. So you'll probably not only eat more, but you'll make choices you wouldn't have otherwise made, like be in more control, or maybe you would have skipped that dessert and only, stayed with this dessert, but you're starving, so you're eating everything. When you get to dinner itself, when you get to the appetizers, look for things like the veggies, like decide ahead of time what you really, really want to enjoy. Maybe like that every year you guys as a family have these 5 things. So Aunt Susie is bringing X, Y, and Z or whatever. Decide ahead of time, like what is the biggest priority for you? Like what do you need to enjoy in order for you to feel like it's still Thanksgiving? Like it wouldn't be Thanksgiving without it. And for me, I totally believe that being healthy and fit is what that means is a lifestyle. It means enjoy whatever you want to enjoy on Thanksgiving. There are certain things that we have one time a year, right? It doesn't, but reality is that I've got a crazy dog right now. Reality is that you could make, X, Y, and Z pie again over the weekend if you really, really wanted to. So don't tell yourself that you can't have it or that it only happens once a year or what have you. You can choose to have everything. The difference is being mindful and intentional versus just eating everything and overeating because you feel like it's the only time or it's the one time or, maybe there's emotions or whatever. So the difference in terms of making it a lifestyle change is learning to be mindful, learning to be thinking ahead. It doesn't mean that you skip your favorite chocolate pie. It means that you decide ahead of time that you're going to eat mindfully and in control. Also, leading up to the dinner, think about your water intake, something as simple as not getting enough sleep or not keeping up on your water. Maybe you drink more water that day than you normally would. It'll help your body feel full. Again, not so that you restrict and deprive, but so that you make mindful choices. Also, when you so if you decide, dinner is really your thing, maybe there's 5 different kinds of dips out, but if you don't if it's really not going to make it or break it for you, maybe you try one of them in moderation. Maybe you stick to the veggie platter. Balance out the day, balance out the meal, if that makes sense. Again, like I said, don't tell yourself you can't have anything because you can choose to have whatever you want. It's that decision of, do I really want this in this moment, or am I just getting caught up? Also, while you're actually eating, being mindful. A lot of times conversations are going on, and I totally get that, but just make sure you're not mindlessly eating just because you guys are all sitting around at the table, right? Just being intentional, understanding, slowing down the process of eating will help your body realize when you're full, that you're full, whether or not you really need to go back for seconds, all of the things. And then when you get your dinner plate, again, moderation, but do like same thing. Start with whatever the veggie serving was, or the protein itself, like the turkey itself, or what have you. And that will help as you're slowing it down to where you won't be as tempted to eat as many mashed potatoes or as many of this or what have you. So it's, again, just comes back to being mindful and in moderation. And then also, like, when you're in the midst of it, choose to enjoy and hi, Evelyn, like, not be judgmental of yourself, right? That's critical, because the second you feel like, if you feel like you ate something that you didn't plan on eating, like you did eat Aunt Susie's and you had more or whatever, if you start condemning yourself in the moment for like, well, I already ate that, or I ate too much, so I might as well keep going, or whatever, catch those thoughts. Remember, that's just negative stinking thinking. It doesn't matter. You always control the choice in front of you. Sorry, one of my dogs is going really crazy, so I'm gonna give me 1 second. Sorry, I don't think that would have ended. Okay, so the other thing that I learned over the course of time is that a good reminder, like, get some mantras ahead of time. Sometimes in these family environments, we have people that we don't see on a regular basis, and or we have challenging family members, and one of the mantras is like, be the temperature, not the thermometer. It is easier said than done, for sure. I'm preaching to the choir, but what that means is like, you decide ahead of time that you're going to enjoy the day, that you're going to enjoy the experience, even with crazy uncle, whatever, who is negative and the sky is always falling, or whatever that person is, whatever that dynamic is. Some family dynamics are really hard. You just decide ahead of time that you're going to enjoy the day, that you're going to be that person that is smiling and happy. And, if there's sensitive topics that have been an issue in the past, then just don't bring those topics up. Really focus on the other people and focus on asking them questions, like genuinely being interested in what's going on with them, and asking questions that like focus on kids or focus on whatever, like conversations that you can have the conversation with them, and just let it be about them, right? Especially if you feel like it's somebody in your family that is critical or judgmental of you or your choices, or for some of you, maybe you're newer in your fitness journey, so it would be totally normal for people to be like, well, why are you doing, like, it happens all the time. Just people don't talk about it as much, in that there's always that person that may like judge you, like, oh, there you go, eating all healthy. Like, as a coach, I mean, obviously I experienced it in my own life, when I originally converted into like choosing healthier, right? I faced so much judgment, so much criticism, because of, like, I was in corporate America and I changed the way I ate. I decided I wasn't going to drink anymore. Like, for the most part, I don't drink, all of those things. And so you have to decide that, like, let them do them and let you do you, and remember why this is so important to you and why this journey is so important to you. And don't be like, I know it's hard, but try not to be offended by whatever they're saying either, because all it is a reflection of, if you're the first one in your group or the first one in your family deciding to get healthy and fit, it's super normal, just so you know, and natural, that like, the people around you will start to question, does that mean I need to make my choices? Is she judging me because I'm not doing that? Like, there's all kinds of things going in their head too that have nothing to do with you. So try not to take it personal. Don't try to justify it either. Just, you do you, be strong, confident in who you are, the choices you're making, remember your bigger why, all the things, and let them be them, and just and let it be, right? And then there was something else I was going to say off of that. So, like, when you show up to wherever, you're just focusing on them and, like, asking genuine, interesting questions about them, and just let it be a day where you're just really about others, right? I mean, we're always about others, but I hope that makes sense. And then also, like, I guess this is the point that I'm missing and I want to make sure I make, is that it's okay if they are not the people. Like, not everyone can be everything to you in every situation. So that's one of the reasons why we have this community and have this tribe, is because we are the safe place for you to share your goals, to support, to encourage you, all the things, right? It's okay and totally natural that not everybody in your life is someone that you can talk about your fitness goals and why they're so important to you, or why you're choosing to, like, have mashed potatoes in moderation, or why you chose to bring sweet potato mashed potatoes instead of the old school potatoes, or why you're trying this new healthy recipe. Like, it's okay that other people don't get it. That's okay. That's not a reflection of you. That's just where they're at in their life at this moment in time. That's all that means, right? The second thing that I wanted to, or whatever order, I don't know that it's the second thing, but like the bonus tip or whatever, is that I also get that this is also a season. I just want us to be mindful of it as a community and a tribe. Of like, a lot of people the holidays are hard because they've lost a loved one, or a relationship has ended, or there's something going on and there's some sort of loss. So one, if that is you, you are not alone. And please don't isolate. I know the temptation would be to isolate. The temptation would be to like want to stay in bed and under the covers and just not pay attention to anybody. If you're like, especially if this is the first, even if it's not the first, right? Holidays are different and can be difficult for someone that has had a loss in their life. So my encouragement to you is that reach out. Like, reach out to the tribe, reach out to me personally, like whatever you guys need. I just want this to be a place where we understand and we're real about what's really happening and what is really possible, and that we come around each other and support and encourage each other. But if that is you, if you have experienced loss, and or whether it's like, unfortunately, a lot of us have lost close family members this last year or two, right? Or it's just the end of a relationship that was significant to you, whatever it is, with everything you've got, I've got chills right now, with everything you can muster, avoid the temptation to isolate, avoid the temptation to be recluse. Understand that you're not normal, or that you're not alone, that it is normal. That's totally said that backwards, to feel like that and to feel overwhelmed, but you've got to keep pressing out. And it's one of those moments and one of those times sometimes where you just have to put one foot in front of the other and do the actions. Get out of bed, take a shower, eat something good in the morning. Like, don't like avoid food, reach out to somebody else. And sometimes there's a place to say like, hey, I'm like challenged, I've got this, and like talk and vent. And other times, and most of the time, this is true for me, anyway, is like allow it to be about other people, right? It's really, really hard to think about whatever's bothering you if you're legitimately reaching out to like friends, family, be around other people, ask them questions, do all the things, and be genuinely interested in what's going on and sharing love with them and all those things. It's really hard to focus on other people and at the same time be caught up in our like sadness or aloneness or whatever. Does that make sense? But it is a choice. You're not going to feel like it. I encourage you to do it anyway. Start with the motions, and you'll be surprised at how much lifted you'll feel. Like, especially with tomorrow being like rainy and cloudy, like that adds to it too. Like, make sure that you take the actions, that you take the steps to reach out, to not be alone, to lean into other people. All right. That was a lot. Oh, really quickly. So Friday, maybe I should do a different video just for Friday because this is getting a little bit long, but maybe I'll do a second one or whatever. So Friday would be a day to apply intermittent fasting, because I will tell you right now, it doesn't matter even if you eat things in small moderation, the chances are if you jump on a scale on Friday, it is going to be higher than it was Thursday morning. And a lot of that is because of water retention, either because you did eat larger portions, which is okay, than you would normally eat in a day, right? So your body's retaining water to try and help digest all the extra, right? Or you ate something that is outside the norm for your system and you're having a little bit of an inflammatory response. Like trust me, it is super hard. You're welcome, Evelyn. It is super hard to actually gain a pound. Like, obviously it's possible. That's why we're all here, all working on it, right? But it's really, really hard. You would have to eat a ton of food to, like, for example, my body is, and I have several clients, this is why we talk about weighing every day, where like you can see like weight fluctuations on a daily basis, right? And sometimes it's big fluctuations. Sometimes it's a few pounds in a day, right? Especially coming off of a day like Thanksgiving. But I promise you the majority of it is going to be water retention, inflammation, all the things. So one of the ways to help combat that is come see me. I'm coaching, by the way. I'll do a different post on that. Come see me Friday and do a workout with us, 8 a.m. only session on Friday. But also try and defer your food. So that would be a day to help experiment with intermittent fasting, in that you just delay when you start eating on Friday. Does that make sense? So even if you do the reverse of this, if you just watching this, go back and listen to what I'm saying about Thanksgiving. This is not a good thing to start on Thanksgiving Day. But then on Friday, you'll be surprised. One, you'll be able to delay food longer because you literally will be stuffed still from Thanksgiving, or your body's still digesting it and working on it. So just delay the food. Don't eat just out of habit because you eat every morning at 8 o'clock. Defer the first meal for as long as you can. Maybe that's 11 a.m. Maybe that's noon. It's going to be different for everybody. Make sure you drink lots and lots of water. Make sure that, like I said, you get some activity in. Maybe you do get a little bit of extra activity in, but remember, it will even out. All right. So I hope that was helpful. Last thing is, on the leftovers, you are not a human garbage disposal. You don't need to consume all the leftovers. After Thursday, let Thursday be the day of whatever, right? But after Thursday, this is where people start to like really get off track, is the leftovers are in their refrigerator, and before they know it, they're picking, and it's all the stuff that they don't normally eat, all the stuff that's super high in fat, whatever, caloric, all the things, right? So you do not need to live off of leftovers for the next week, right? If it's just the turkey and it's just the core things, that's fine. Work it into your macros. But generally speaking, just remember, you are not the human. Give all the extra treats, sugars, and all that kind of stuff away. All right. Talk to you soon, guys. If this was helpful, let me know. And I am going to do a different post about the workouts. Bye.